right, thank you. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon for our webinar series. We are honored for this opportunity to host and sponsor our fall series of webinars focused on post-COVID-19 during the school year. My name is Mike Cameron. I'm the Director of Business Development, and I'd like to say a few words about SWYE360 before we get started. SWYE360 Learning is a comprehensive all-in-one integrated platform that supports face-to-face, hybrid, and/or full online learning synchronously and asynchronously. Teachers are able to deliver virtual instruction, complete their instructional time. They can track student mastery of assignments and assessments, as well as create engaging and interactive lessons. And perhaps more importantly, engage directly with students and parents, all without having to leave the platform, and all with just one login. The 3+1 key components that make SWYE360 stand out among teachers, again, with just one login. Teachers have the ability to, number one, create and curate content. Number two, manage learners with whole and small group virtual instruction, remediation, and tracking mastery. In addition to number three, managing and delivering virtual instruction with tools like polling, breakout rooms, recording and playing back and sharing virtual classrooms, as well as co-teaching a virtual class. The final component, the 1+ key component to the platform, is parental engagement. This is where teachers can instantly schedule a virtual meeting with a parent. This provides a direct teacher connection, and parents have access to assessments and assignments to know exactly where their child stands at all times. In addition, parents have access to student classes. With SWYE360, you no longer need Zoom or Google Meets. Online video is already built within the platform. Well, in closing, thank you all for joining us for our final webinar in our series, Small Districts, Big Ideas. If you haven't registered for our November 12th webinar entitled K-12 is the Future Here, you can click on the link in the chat box to get additional information and sign up. Please ask questions during the webinar today, and feel free to tweet at SWYE360 throughout this event. Our session today is being recorded, and we will be sending a copy of the webinar to each of you. I would like to announce that we have recently been invited into Digital Promise as a thought partner for their Learner Variability Project. For those not familiar with Digital Promise, it is a nonprofit organization funded through the United States Congress for innovation in education on research-based products. Now I would like to introduce the founder and CEO of SWYE360 Learning, Mr. Jacob McIvire. He has been in K-12 for over 15 years, where he has been involved and instrumental in scaling some innovative organizations, including access to computer science and gamifying instruction to engage all learners. He is passionate about providing equitable access to education for all students, regardless of their geographic boundaries. He believes through technology, we can break the barriers of inequities and access to great teaching. Jacob is also a co-founder of a charter school in Texas, Leadership Prep School, an innovative and high-performing charter school in the state of Texas with an enrollment of 1,400 and a waitlist of 2,000 students. He currently sits on the board for this school. He will be taking a deep dive into the innovative and transformative SWYE360 e-learning platform and how other school districts are using the all-in-one platform for synchronous and asynchronous learning in blended and hybrid learning environments. Welcome, Jacob. How are you?
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, thank you for the introduction. I really do appreciate it. But first, I want to thank you, Mike, and the team, Jennifer, and the rest of the team that has done an amazing job the last 6 weeks of putting together this full series of webinar sessions that we've done in the last 6 weeks. I also want to thank all the superintendents that have been involved and instrumental in presenting their thoughts, their ideas, and some of their recommendations on how to manage and navigate in these trying times. These are unprecedented times for us in education and in the world in general. These are things that we've never had to deal with. As we're hearing right now in the news across the world, we may be facing again another surge of this COVID situation. So I want to thank those superintendents for taking their time and being part of the last 6 weeks on our journey. I also want to thank all the attendees that have attended in the last 6 weeks. We have many superintendents that have come back session after session, and I know some of them are on this session this afternoon. I want to personally take the time and thank you for taking the time to join us as we go on this journey in the last 6 weeks. At SWYE for us, our mission is very simple. Our mission is to provide great equitable teaching to students anywhere. What does that mean? That means that regardless of geographic location or geographic boundaries, students and learners should have access to great teaching, whether it's great access to teachers or access to resources. So a student that may be in rural Virginia should have access to great chemistry teachers that are in DC or in California, or a great science teacher across the world. We believe things like technology will help break those barriers. That's our mission, to get on this journey of providing access to great teaching for all students anywhere, regardless of their geographic location. As we know now, we are in the fourth industrial revolution as it relates to advancements in technology. And technology is reaching a point of maturation, even with events like COVID that have forced education to transition to online learning. We don't know if this will be the new normal or some iteration of it, but what we know for a fact is the world as we know it has changed, and companies are starting to adapt to this new normal. We believe that learning should be ubiquitous. It cannot be confined to just the four walls of a classroom. So tools like SWYE360 help break those barriers of geography. What we're seeing right now is teachers and educators alike, especially in the K-12 space, they are really struggling and overwhelmed of delivering instruction online. They're having to piecemeal resources and navigate between systems and platforms to teach online. And that is not easy. Teachers were never really trained to teach online. So this presents a unique challenge, not just for the teachers, even students, parents, and the district at large. I mean, I can tell you personally, as a parent of 3 children, my wife is having to manage multiple logins, multiple platforms, so we can just try to figure out which Zoom class to go into, which Google Hangout to go into. And it is overwhelming for parents. It is frustrating for students, but teachers and educators are having to do the best they can with what they have. There's not many resources out there in the market today that were truly designed for online instruction. I mean, those are great tools and resources that were built and designed for in the classroom instruction. But with an online virtual environment, that presents a unique and different challenge for us as educators and as a community. So it forces us to think different, to approach the problems differently. But knowing that districts have no visibility to know what's going on in their districts or what virtual classes have been scheduled or who has attended those classes presents a huge challenge for them. That's the problem that SWYE360 solves. We are a collaborative e-learning platform to deliver hybrid or blended learning to students anywhere. So we believe that technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. We believe that when teachers are provided the systems and tools and resources that they can use to be effective in delivering instruction, they can really do some outstanding, unbelievable things and see some great student outcomes. As long as tools like SWYE360 are presented to teachers, a system and a structure in which they can teach in an online environment which they were not trained in, they can be effective in delivering highly engaging and highly interactive instruction. Whether schools are doing A/B schedules or they're doing a hybrid or blended learning or virtual, 100% virtual, we support all those with just one login. An all-in-one, fully integrated e-learning platform that supports all the key stakeholders for the student. So you're talking about your teachers, you're talking about your parents, and you're talking about your districts to really support those students that are learning in that online environment. That's what SWYE360 does for you. What if there was an application or platform for teachers, for parents, for students, and the district administration, where teachers with just one login, not 2, not 3, just one login, They can communicate with parents through SMS or virtual sessions, like a virtual teacher conference. I think right now we are in about 10, 12 weeks into school for my students, for my kids. And now the teachers are getting ready to prepare to do some teacher parent conference. And they're all going to be virtual this time around. What if within the same environment, they can engage those parents and schedule those virtual sessions, send direct SMS messages to parents through the platform without disclosing their phone number. And even parents can actually schedule sessions and meetings with teachers within the platform. What if there was a platform where teachers can collaborate with their peers and co-teach in some classes? They can also create content if they choose to, or bring content from outside and get it integrated within the platform, whether it's assessments, assignments, or lessons that they can share with their peers. What if there was one platform with just one login? They can log in the same environment, be able to take a look at data and track student mastery, and really help them present data-driven instruction, deliver data-driven instruction to their students based on the data that they're seeing, all within the same environment, in the same place, in the same environment, where they're communicating with their parents, where they're collaborating with their peers, where they're creating content and resources to share with their students and other teachers, and where they're taking a look at data and taking a look at data-driven instruction, where how students are mastering that content. In the same environment, they can actually initiate and deliver virtual instruction without having to log into another platform, with just one login. That's what SWYE360 presents for you. It provides teachers with the system and the structure that they need to deliver instruction online. We are not an LMS. We are more than that. We're not just a video tool. We are more than that. We are an e-learning platform designed for online instruction. You will not need Zoom or Google Hangout. They'll have all those tools integrated in one, including multiple whiteboards, breakout rooms, polls to help you check for understanding as you're delivering instruction, and some social and emotional learning tools to help really engage with your learners in a virtual environment. That is one of the biggest challenges that our educators and our teachers have today, is they're teaching online. How do you engage with your learners at home from a social and emotional way? I mean, we have built in some tools to help with that, to really help them engage with students, whether it's one-on-one for individualized instruction, whether the students have an IEP or personalized instruction. We can do all those things within SWYE. So what I would like to do now is go a little bit under the hood and show you what the platform looks like. Now, I'm going to give you a disclaimer right now, okay? The platform is very robust and very comprehensive. There are so many tools that you'll see and features that you'll see in the platform. I will not be able to cover all of those today, this afternoon. We just do not have enough time. But I would like to present you with an opportunity to do that, to maybe schedule a demo with us where we can go more in depth and show you our platform in depth and all the features that it has that are so rich for online instruction. So to schedule a demo, please send an email to Jennifer@SWYE360.com. Jennifer@SWYE360.com. I'll go ahead now and log into our platform and go under the hood a little bit. As I'm doing that, I want to tell you that our platform is based, it's a web-based platform on the Amazon Web Services. So you don't have to really change anything in your district from a system and a structure standpoint in your IT department. It's very easy for us to onboard a district and get them up and running because of the tool itself. So I'll go ahead and get on our platform and log in right now. And by the way, as we're presenting and going through this presentation, please feel free to send in your questions, comments that you may have, and we'll be able to address those. I'll make sure I save some time on the back end of our presentation for me to address any questions that may come up. So now this is our environment. This is our platform. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to log in as a teacher and walk you through the day in the life of a teacher. Now, remember what I said. We have 4 unique logins. So you have your teacher login, you have your student login, you have your parent login, and you have your district login. In respect of time, I'll only go through the teacher login. So what you will see now is just from a teacher's perspective. What I like to do is think through the day in the life of a teacher. So I'll go ahead and log in and take you a little bit under the hood of SWYE360. So the vision and the idea behind SWYE360 is, from the time the teachers log in, they will have absolutely no reason to leave the environment as they teach and deliver instruction online. From the starting of their day, when they log in, they will land on their dashboard. Okay? This is where it's their homeroom, if you may. On this dashboard, they will see quickly at a snapshot view how many virtual classes they have upcoming. In this case, you have one virtual class that's upcoming, and how long each class is going to run. Why is that important? Depending on your state requirements for instructional minutes and instructional time. I know in the great state of Texas right now, for K-5, they have to show that they have 180 minutes of instructional time delivered and show that they completed some assessments and assignments. So completion of work needs to be shown. For middle school and above, they have to show 240 minutes of instructional time. The feedback that we're hearing from districts across the state and across the country, districts are struggling on how to track that. So within the platform, we are able to track instructional minutes on actual instruction, not how much time they spent logged in on the platform. That's a different measure. On here, we can also see if we already hosted a session. In this case, the session, virtual session, that's class that took place on the 28th today, 11:25, was a 30-minute class. I can mouse over this number and see how many students actually attended that virtual class. We've built in within the system an ability to record all those class sessions. So you can record the sessions, and after you've recorded sessions, you can download or copy the link of that recording and send it to those learners that missed the actual synchronous instruction. In the state of Texas, there is a requirement for synchronous and asynchronous instruction. So we've made it so easy for teachers and for districts to where when they record that session, it then pushes directly to their dashboard. They don't have to do anything. They just need to end the recording. It pushes directly to their dashboard. It saves in their dashboard. They then take that link and send it directly to their students that were not in class for whatever reason. So then that will count towards their asynchronous instruction. That is all built in the platform for the teachers and for the educators. Now, from the district perspective, the district has access to all this data. So they have 100% visibility to knowing what's going on across the entire district. And they have all this data and metrics that they can report on for state reportings, if PIMS reporting, for attendance reporting, all built in. As a teacher, I can see quickly how many assessments and assignments that I've given out to my learners. I can see when I created those assignments and assessments. I can see when they're due or if they're past due. And also with the quick red indicator, it shows you how many students on that specific assignment need attention. Why is that important in a virtual environment, in an online environment? You want to know which of your students are actually engaged and or struggling. So now you have a quick data point that you have as a teacher to see on this specific assignment, you have 10 learners that either did not complete their assignment or scored under 70%. So they need additional support, additional help. This becomes a quick data point for you as a teacher to deliver engaging data-driven instruction, or maybe to reteach, just really good teaching practice, all built in the platform to support you with that, okay? Now, obviously you can click on this and then it will show you the actual students that need the support and help, okay? So it gives you that information there. Or you can click directly on the student themselves and view the details on that specific student. And then you can see that specific assignment or assessment, but also you can see multiple assessments and assignments and how they perform with the quick red, blue, and yellow indicator to show you how they're tracking and progressing. And you can actually see the actual score and how they scored on that. All assessments and assignments that are built within the SWYE360 are auto-graded. Now, if they are word responses, which are qualitative assignments, Those are graded by the teacher, but there's a mechanism built in the system to where the teacher can grade those manually within the platform, okay? Now from this place, I can quickly, directly engage with the parents if I need to. Because I noticed that Misha is struggling in multiple of my assessments and assignments that I've given out. There's so many that have not been completed. I may want to engage with the parents and see exactly what's happening with Misha and what help and or support she may need. This online environment, it becomes absolutely critical to make sure that our parents are highly engaged in the learning of the students. I mean, some of the data that's coming out now is showing us that parents are now more engaged in their students' learning more than ever. But we also need to make sure that we as school systems are providing tools and resources to our teachers so they are able to easily engage and communicate with those parents in one environment. So that's all built in the platform from here. Now, the other thing that I'd like to show you quickly is the ability of the teachers to quickly come in the environment and schedule a virtual session. So I'll come here to classes. It will take me to all the classes that I have. So if you're a middle school teacher who has 4 or 5 sections a day that you're teaching, those will show right here. If you're an elementary teacher, maybe you want to show blocks of language arts, blocks of math and science and social studies, you can schedule those right here and have them set up. But also if you want to create small group for small group instruction based on all where your learners are, you're able to do that too within the environment and create those small groups here within the platform. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and quickly create a small group. And in this case, I'm going to call it webinar session, webinar series session 6, which is our last session. Okay. And I'm going to say this is for our 5th grade class. 5th grade. So you can see how easy and how intuitive the platform is and easy for the teachers to do it and do at any given time, really with limited training. And right there, you have your session created. But what we know in this class is we don't have any students assigned in this. So I'm going to click view student details. It's going to show me there's no students assigned in this. And I'll quickly assign some students, click assign students and identify. I'm just going to pick 5 students just so we can schedule this virtual session. So now you've successfully assigned selected students to the class. So I'm going to go back to my classes and voila. Now in this class, I have my students in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and quickly schedule a virtual session. And again, notice we have not left the environment. We're still in the same environment with just one login. We've managed our students. We've managed our content. We've managed our small group instruction. We've engaged with our parents. And now we're going to go ahead and schedule a virtual session right here within the same environment. I've selected my class. I've selected the date and time. 1:25, I'm in Central Time Zone. I'm going to go ahead and schedule my session. It's going to ask me, how long do you want to run this session for? Why is this important? Because remember, on the back end, we're tracking instructional minutes. So I'll go ahead and schedule for 30 minutes for this case. And there it is. It's going to give me a specific session ID. I'm going to go ahead and launch it. Now, what you'll notice is this class is flashing red. The same thing is happening on the student side. The same class is flashing too. So on their dashboard, students really don't need to think. All they need to do is log in on their dashboard. Any class that's flashing is an indicator that class is in session or about to begin. Just click on the red button and get into session. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and start the session. As you can see, it is just now launched me and is now dropping me into a virtual environment. Okay. In this virtual environment, what you will notice quickly is the centerpiece of attraction is not the video component like you would have in Zoom and other platforms. The centerpiece of attraction is the whiteboard, which is designed to help teachers deliver highly engaging and interactive instruction. So now there's your teacher, and now they can start delivering instruction. They have multiple whiteboards, multiple tools that Mike has talked about and shared with. They can start recording the session right here. There's your teacher. Students can come in and you can see them as they're logging in. Okay? That is SWYE360 at a very high level. All those tools are integrated in one place. Your parent communication for SMS communication or direct communication from the parents to the teachers or the teachers to the parents, a two-way communication. the ability for teachers to create content, resources, share that content with their teachers, the ability for them to do data-driven instruction, small group, whole group instruction, all built in one, and the ability of the teachers to really then deliver virtual instruction all in one place with just one login. And also, more importantly, from the district perspective, the ability for the district to have full visibility of what's going on within their entire district with all their teachers, all the content that they're creating, all the virtual sessions that they have going on. That is SWYE360, an collaborative e-learning platform really designed to help you deliver hybrid, blended learning online instruction to students anyway. Thank you very much. I'll pass it back to Mike and take some questions.
Thank you, Jacob. We do have some questions coming in. So the first one, do you integrate with Clever?
Yes, we actually do integrate with Clever.
All right. Is this a LMS? We currently use Canvas.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more than an LMS. I mean, the tools that we've built into the platform are really a vision around online instruction. So there's so many tools within it where you can create content, share content, and assessments, but you can also bring outside content into the environment. So it's more than that. Then the integration of the parental communication, the integration of the student one-on-one instruction, and the data-driven components built in the platform for student mastery are all built in there, making it way more than what an LMS can do for you.
Let me ask you this. Would the student staff roster be shared via an intermediate tool such as Clever, or would the SWYE360 platform replace the need for Clever?
Well, we don't replace the need for Clever. Clever does so many things, right? Including rostering and including single sign-on. So we work in partnership with Clever. So Clever and us work together, hand in glove. But also from a rostering standpoint, we work with any one roster or any SIS systems, like student information systems you may have in your district. We work with those to bring in data and push data out to those platforms.
And do parents need to get trained on the platform? And what is the process for them to get set up, if so?
So we've made it so easy for parents to get set up. I mean, parents really need to sign up online, provide their email addresses and their phone numbers. That's all they need to do. And then invite their students into their portal. Then they'll be able to see their students. That's all they need to do. Very easy for parents. Parents really do not need to be trained, but we do have parent guides and handbooks that districts can give out to parents so they can go through those.
And we have another one. How would the platform integrate SaaS products and associated reporting?
SaaS, I don't know what that is. SaaS products. I don't understand, Mike. What is that? Do you know? Subscription-based products. Well, it depends. So in our process, one of the things that we will do is we'll take a look at the technologies that you have in your district and what you're using through our technology department and figure out which ones we can talk to, which ones we cannot, and then give you a plan. Great. So one of the frustrations is that we use several platforms and our students and parents get lost or confused on where to go, and it has affected our attendance. How would this help if we add yet another platform? Well, that's interesting because that's the challenge we're trying to solve right now, right? That's why we integrate with many different platforms and bring the content into the environment. That way your teachers, your parents, and your students do not have to have multiple logins and multiple platforms that they have to manage. That's the problem that we solve. With SWYE360, we bring all those things into one environment so they don't have to have multiple logins, multiple passwords, just one login, one password in a fully integrated platform. That's great. I believe that's all the questions. Thank you so much, Jacob. That was excellent. Yes, no, thank you, Mike. Thank you for your time. All right. Well, thank you all for attending. We really appreciate you guys joining us this afternoon. And just one last reminder, if any of you would like to have a personal demo, you can email Jennifer at SWYE360.com and we can get that set up. Also, we are having a webinar November the 12th. It's an all-star panelist. These are presenters from across the nation discussing Is the Future Here? And again, that's going to be on November the 12th. So the
The link was not in the chat box earlier. It is now. So if you would like to go to the chat box and hit that link and sign up, you can do that. You can get more details there as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you guys November 12th. Thank you so much. Goodbye.